Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Serendipity by Melanie. Today I'm going to be showing you some crafts that I have done. I showed you a video the last time and it was things that I picked up at the thrift store, vases and a few items. And then here I've revamped them. I've never done this kind of crafting before, and you might notice in a few items that, you know, I am a beginner, but I thought I'd give it a try. A lot of things that I'm watching YouTube or Pinterest that give me an idea of what I'd like to do. So we'll start out with my first vase. This one here, I did the faux cement look on it. I just tossed a flower in there just for height. And it is a heavy base to it. And I'm just going to try and show you the rise on the chalk paint, which is the more baking soda in with the paint is the higher the dimension on the paint. And I'm just going to show you another one that I had done, and it had less chalk paint in it. So the rise on the speckles aren't as high. I'm not sure if this is going to show up for you, but it is a lower one. But I've done them in the gray and then a whitewash over top. So, to me, they turned out. So I was happy with that. My first craft was I took an old quilt and it was falling apart. So I made these hearts. And there's 3 of them. And what had happened was I left the quilt lining in, like the padding and everything. And so when I glued it, I wanted the edges to fray some. But when I glued it together, it wasn't like, it didn't turn out. So I was thinking, what am I going to do? So on this one, I took a bit of green and I just sewed the edges to give it a little more vintage look. I haven't finished these off. I'd like to put some lace on it and a few other things just to shabby it up. But I think they turned out, considering I didn't think through the process. So, and then the back is more plain. So these are a nice size, and they're just a little padded heart. Valentine's is over now, but I wanted to show you what I had done with them. And learning my lesson on the edges, I decided to do, because Easter is coming, bunny rabbit. So I cut off a lot of the interior padding and foam. I'm not sure, my words don't come to me. So I made this Easter bunny, and it turned out way better. And I put a little brooch on it because, you know, bring back the brooches. I have couple hundred brooches still here, and I just added some lace and ribbons, so these can come off. You just untie them if you're not interested. And here's the back, more plain, but on the belly it's got a flower, and then on the face it has a flower. So I'm not sure, should I add anything else? Should I remove the brooch? I'm not sure, but happy now that I figured out not to have all the padding in there. And then I'll just use a little bit of sandpaper and just scuff up the edges a little bit. I see that I've missed a spot here with the glue, so I'll add that, just a little, tap that down. And any suggestions on any of these projects would be truly grateful, you guys, because like I said, I'm still learning. I made some risers, and it's 2x6 and then chalk painted. I usually do 2 to 3 coats on items, so I added the legs and I just finished it off, a little shabby chic look, you know, round off the corners, that sort of thing. So on these legs, and then a wax coating. So remember, well, I'm not sure if you've seen that video yet or not, but I bought a box of these wooden. I'm still getting over having a broken arm, so my one arm isn't very strong. And so I bought a bunch of these wooden pieces, and then I just grouped them in different shapes and the sizes, and when I got 4, then I'd use them for the legs. Here's some bigger ones when I get a bigger piece of wood. So I bought these and I just glued them on and painted them up. And so those are the legs to these risers. This one turned out really well. I'm pleased with it. And so I will be doing more. I just have to photograph them and put them up for sale. This riser is mine. One of the legs was just a little off. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's this leg. It doesn't affect its use. Everything is good with it. But I wanted to try a new Mod Podge. Instead of using the Mod Podge, they put saran wrap down and then iron it, and that would make it glue to it when the saran wrap heats up. So I tried it and it came out okay. I'm just not sure how long this will last. I have put Mod Podge on the top of it, and it was turning out rather well, just using a napkin. But then I decided to flip the napkin over away from me. So hence doing that. Now I have wrinkles on this one end, but I did want to try out that new way of using like a plastic wrap. So it turned out, I haven't sanded the bottom yet, but it is mine. I think it turned out good. However, there's lots of flaws, but I'm practicing and this was my first piece. Hence why it's now mine. So then I made this other riser and I like the birds on it. I didn't have it quite centered for the birds, a little off center. And then I wasn't really working at it where I was thinking I was just doing. So this side, this edge looks okay. But this edge, you know, there's a piece of the napkin that had ripped off. And then this side, I mean, it's okay. It's lower than the other side. But then I turned the corner in instead of cutting it off. So, you know, I'm just learning. And I have to pay more attention. Meaning when I'm painting something, do I want to paint the bottom first or the top first? How am I going to hold it when it gets to the point? All these things that I'm just learning. But like I say, the birds are a little off, but the colors are pretty. And I like it. So then, you know, another bird can sit in front of the riser. So this bird here I got, it was pure white, so I just added the gray with whitewash on top of it. And it turned out good. It's quite heavy, so I was thinking on keeping that just for display. And then there's one more riser. And this is the one that turned out to me the best. So this is very pretty. And then on the edges, and I have put the Mod Podge on it. So this is the way you could display it. You can use it as the riser. You can turn it to any angle. So I like this one. And that was my fourth one, just practicing. So it turned out, in my opinion. Another item that didn't turn out, but I promised you I'd show you. I had all these decals like that came, groups of ladies in evening gowns, that sort of thing, and they're just small. But I wanted to try to attach it to this embroidery hoop with canvas drop cloth. I tried peeling it, I tried scraping it as if the decal would adhere to the drop cloth. And I tried ironing it, so I've ruined these decals and nothing seemed to turn out for me. So that is another project that I'd like to work on and figure it out. I'm not sure how to use these decals. Maybe I ordered the wrong kind, not to give up. But yeah, I'll just redo this with something black ink on a stamp with a bird or flowers or something, just to add to display. So that was a major fail. I was trying to paint some bottles, so I used the chalk paint acrylic and water first. And it turned out okay, but it was more a see-through. And I love purples and pinks. So then this is like a vinegar, oil and vinegar bottle. And then the next time I used the chalk paint mixed in with the color. And it turned out a lot better. I'm just going to use this for display. You can see it's maybe a little bit run down, more than it should, so maybe another coat would fix all that, but I like it as it is, and maybe I'll just tie a ribbon on it, and just for shabby chic look. So I had these two little bunnies, and they were white, but they were very yellowed, so they're ceramic. So as you can tell, most of this is the faux cement look. And then on the back here, it's not perfect, the painting's not perfect, but I still like how they turned out. I should have done a little more sanding on them. And I can still fix that up. For those of you who have not used chalk paint before, when you paint it on, the first coat is just to get it on. So prime with a clear coat. I use Rust-Oleum clear, but in a matte finish. So I spray the metal, say, and I do 2 coats of that and let them dry between. And when you're painting, you just get your first coat on. You try not to leave a lot of brush strokes. But then when you go for your second coat and everything's cure and dry, you just lightly use a damp cloth to take off the rise of some paint brush marks, or you could use a light sandpaper. Even some, I'm not finished this project, but these are salt and pepper shakers. After the first, they're wooden ones. After the first coat, all I did is actually take the back of one of the napkins that I separated for the decoupage, and I just twisted around here, and the roughness of the napkin was enough to take the marks out, brush strokes, that sort of thing. So this is my second coat, and I do have to sand it down because I do have brush strokes and a bit of clumping, but that will be done just, damp cloth or sandpaper, or like I say, one of the rough backs to the napkins. So that project's not done. This is another one. It was a white planter. I didn't have to do much. I just added 2 coats of the chalk paint. I'm just going to try and pivot my light a little bit here. And it's not staying, but it is better. So it's just 2 handles, a planter, and I just threw in some lamb's ear and some fake succulents. So I didn't do anything on the inside, but I did list this yesterday. There is interest in it from a few people. I put it on a bid site, and what happens is I tell them the minimum price that I would like, and then if somebody wants it, I put it up for $10. So I have a bid of $10. If somebody else would like it, within 24 hours, they can go $11, $12, $12.50. It's only 50-cent increments. So that right now has sold, because they have 48 hours to pick it up after I close the post after the 24 hours. So that turned out very nice. I like it. It's a nice weight. And then I did this puppy. He was like a Dalmatian with red and black spots. So here he is, and I did him in white, and then I used a darker wax to seal him. And that just shows off all the little crevices. He's scratching his ear. He's cute. Cute, cute. And then this one, it's like an acrylic wall hanging. And it was white, but it was very yellowed. So I added a bit of like blue-green to the paint. And I wanted a mint color to come out on it. So I painted it, and then the whitewash wax on top. And then I did another touch up with the white wax where it was a little dark in some spots. But the crown of it, so the white wax, and shows up the bit of green. It's very pretty. I like how it turned out, although there are some spots that are still a bit too green, but that adds to the dimensional look of the chalk paint. And then I had this wooden pineapple. You guys have seen these before. I just added some faux succulents to it. And all I did was add 2 coats of white chalk paint, and then I scuffed it up on the edges a bit. I'll take the flowers out. And I just scuffed it up, and then white wax on top. So then it's just for trinkets. You could put faux flowers in it, and beside the bed or the entry, put your keys in it, that sort of thing. So I'm just practicing on different items that I can do, and everything I'm learning stuff on, I just need to slow down and think through the process. Where do I hold it and where do I start painting so that I'm not touching what I just painted? Those sort of little things, it will come in time. This is the pain to all my weeks worth of painting. This metal tray, and then I added a decal. This decal of the rabbits can come off, but it was just coat after coat. It turned out, I would give it a 7 out of 10. And the decal's been on a couple days, but like I say, you can take it off. But the decal down at the bottom is sitting a little low, so there's a bit of crinkles in the decal. So I could remove it and put it up a little higher. But I think these bunny rabbits are cute. I did dark wax. I did a white wax over that, just to calm down the dark wax that I didn't rub off enough. Like I say, it was very trying, and you can see I still have some brush strokes and that showing through that I didn't sand well enough. But anyways, I'm saying it turned out, but maybe a 7 out of 10. So listing this, I do say that the decal does come off and can be reused. So there's the Easter bunny tray. This was the acrylic vase that I showed in my video, faux tree. It has the, sorry, I'm trying to get out of my own light. You can see it, they tried to make it look like a tree branch with the swirls and everything. So I just gave that 2 coats. One, the gray, just to get it on. And the next one, I think they call it stippling. You just tap your brush to leave the rise of the chalk paint so that it does look like cement. On top with the white wax, shows off the detail a little more. So then I just added just the flowers for kind of getting fancy here, just to show it off. This jug turned out very nice. If you see my last video, it was the one with apple and the green on the handle. That was from the 80s. So I just finished it off with the cement look, just showing how to display it if you'd like. And I like how it turned out. It was the first one I had done, and I'm happy with it. So it's the faux cement, so gray chalk paint with the baking soda added to paint, 50-50 ratio, and then the white wax on top. So it turned out like I'm happy with it. And those are the items that I've finished off. I'm still in the middle of redoing these candle holders. So they've only had 2 coats of the white. I haven't sanded them. I haven't decided what color I'm using on them. And then these taller salt and pepper shakers, they have 1 coat of the gray on them. Lots of paint strokes on them because the first coat you just want to get on to get it to stick. So I'm still working on these. And what else? Oh, this little pot here, ceramic dish, and it has the bird on top. It's had the 2 coats. Sorry, I can't flip it with my left hand. I'm not doing the interior, but once I start working on it, sand it down, I think I'm going to Mod Podge some napkin on it. I have different colors, so I thought some florals, or I'm just reaching, sorry about that, or my favorite one. This napkin's my favorite. I love it. So something like that, just on one side. And then that will just pop it a little bit. Maybe I'll use something that has a bird in it. I was also thinking that I could do a, what do you call it? A mold. They call IOD molds. I have a lot of silicone molds, and I'll use the clay, and I think that would look better if I used a clay bird in a mold and attach that while it's still wet so it can follow the curvature of the pot. And then that would look better in my eyes to have at least the bird on it, and then the other side can be plain in case the person wants to change the decor. So I am working on that one, and there's a few others right now. I'm just looking down. There's a little bathtub that I'm going to redo, ceramic. It's just a soap dish, so I will be redoing that, but I need to spray the clear coat on it because it is quite glossy. And then a few of the molds I'm going to be making. I'm trying to think what else I'm doing. Cleaning up my craft room again because I destroy it, clean it back up, destroy it. So there'll be more items. It takes me a while to do the crafting because I'm new at it. I mean, some people could just paint them up in 10 minutes and done. But I have quite a few of these glass bowls. This one has a lid, ice bucket, or candy dish, or cookie dish. So I thought maybe I would shabby chic them. I think they call it cottage core now. I'm used to the shabby chic. So I have quite a few of these, and I'm just trying to decide what I'd like to do with them. Any suggestions I would be grateful for. And I think that's it for today. I'm just looking around, and so there's a small basket that I had. I didn't do anything for it. It was long, oval, narrow, so it'd be good for a mantle. So that sold yesterday, and like my planter sold yesterday. So those will all be out the door and gone within the next 3 days. After, like, they have 48 hours to pick them up after the post. So I'm repeating myself, and again, just looking around, and I will do another video. Having enough to do a video takes me quite a while, so every few weeks maybe I'll do a short video, and I appreciate any suggestions. Thank you for showing up and being here with me. I really do appreciate the time spent together. I enjoy reading all the comments, and please let me know how I'm doing. The video part of it, I know that I'm lacking on that, but I'd like to know what you think of the items that I've repurposed, the crafting. It helps me because I am totally in the dark with this. I'm just learning. So have a great day. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.